Okay, so it's Letta office hours. This is the first we've had in 2 weeks. We were off for, most of us were off for the holidays, but there's been plenty of stuff happening since we got back. Um, yeah, so I want to go kind of jump through stuff. So I'm just going to kind of like show you a few things. I have like a pointed list of stuff that I want to kind of show off and make sure that you guys are aware of. And after that, during this, if you have questions or comments or anything, I'll be reading the chat so that you kind of, that we can answer your questions or your specific use cases. So just drop them in the chat as we go along. You don't have to wait towards the end. How did I spend the holiday break? Asked Gusto. The holiday break, I stayed in San Francisco and I tried not to do very much. It was great. My job involves talking to people a lot, and so I didn't talk to anyone, and that was awesome. But I did build some like interesting tools, which I can kind of show you a bit later, that we're going to try and like get into Letta base. But I built that. I worked on like some personal agents, and I improved the Discord bot and the Telegram bot and a bunch of other like smaller things like that. But for the most part, I just like did walks and kind of just like enjoyed sitting inside and not doing anything. So yeah, it was really good. I hope everybody else enjoyed their break if they celebrate. Okay. So the first thing that I would like to share is basically we now have message scheduling built into Letta Cloud. So you can go here. I'll check out the docs or post the docs in. It's like we're in stand-up, says Graham. I'm sorry. It's like we're in stand-up. But this is a common request for us, is like some kind of scheduling. So, if, a lot of people have like, like I send my agent a message every hour that says like, you can do whatever you want with this time. And it even started like this morning. It told me it like went and started reading all of my blogs to track my writing style, which is kind of cool. I didn't ask it to do that. It just like started doing that on its own. So I use that for unstructured time. I use that to like for like daily affirmations. I have like I built an agent that's for me and my partner. That's like that like kind of like monitors a chat for us, and it stores like date ideas and things like that. And it sends us like a daily reflection, which is kind of cool. And so message scheduling has been like a huge request for us that's taken a while to implement. And previously I had something called the switchboard, which people may know of, which you can access here. And so the switchboard was like this thing that I built, like custom middleware, that would like handle this kind of externally. So I've removed kind of the entire backend for the switchboard. So the switchboard now just goes directly through the Letta, through the Letta internal SDK or the Letta server. So you should be able to schedule all kinds of messages here. The usage is actually extremely simple inside of scheduling. So like you can just create. Let me copy this code here just so people can see it. So it's extremely simple to do. You just say like, okay, you instantiate your client. You can set, a scheduled time, and you have to do a few adjustments because I believe it's in seconds here. And then you can create a schedule using agents.schedule.create. Then you give it the agent ID, and then you specify whether it's one time or recurring messages. So you can send an agent like one message like 3 hours from now, for example. And then you say, okay, like generate your daily summary report. You can also send system messages here, so you can specify the role if you want to. You can also, of course, do this with curl, which is also very simple. This will need a client release. I'm not actually sure if this has made it into the client yet. It wasn't as of like 2 or 3 days ago when I was like writing this. So the curl methods may be the most up-to-date ones. But if you want to specify a recurring message, you can pass in a cron expression, We don't go down to the second precision because that's extremely difficult to do, but we can go down to the minute precision. And so anytime you, any cron string here is something that you can add. And then we'll just execute this on your behalf for the given agent. Yeah, so one-time recurring messages. There's some tips here on common cron patterns. This is an example here where you basically say, like, go look at your memory blocks for outdated information. Please go clear them up. And then you can like list out existing messages. You can retrieve messages or retrieve scheduled messages, cancel them, etc., stuff like that. And then, of course, all this stuff is inside of the API reference. Agents, schedules, create, list, retrieve, and delete, of course, is right here. There is a GitHub for Switchboard, which you can find here. So if you want to go modify the UI, it is available there. But basically, the scheduling dashboard now just uses it just uses the backend. So this is like kind of like a simple, a little dumb user interface for managing schedules for your agents. We're still building it into the agent development environment. It doesn't currently exist there. So the switchboard or just the code is the best way to manage schedules before we can implement it into the user interface. So I hope people get some use out of that. I've been using it pretty steadily for like maybe a few weeks now, and it's been excellent. So if you run into any like sharp edges or something like that, please let us know. But this should be a big feature that people have been asking for. Okay. Let's see. All right, let's do my next one here. Yes. Let's do here, GitHub Action. Okay. Letta Code now has a GitHub Action. And what that means is you can tag Letta Code inside of a repository. And then let's see, is it Letta Code? Do we actually have this as a workflow? Let's see. Letta Code, okay. All right, let's make a little issue here. Testing. Hey, pal. Okay, so it's super easy to install. You can go check out the cloud action that we have linked to here. It's very, very simple. You just add a Git workflow like that. And what this allows you to do is like summon a Letta agent to your repository. And your agent, this just deploys a Letta Code instance in headless mode into a GitHub runner. And your agent can just like kind of go work, and it'll like get back to you with a summary of what it did. And you can also, let's say, like you can do Letta Code. Let's see what Ezra's. What is Ezra's agent ID? Yeah, let's see here. There it is. Okay, this is Ezra's agent ID. And I believe you can do this. I think it's that one. Hey. I think that's the one. I'm not sure. We'll see. Okay, so you can basically deploy any existing agent. So if you go check out our skills repository, which is like a bunch of like communal skills for like all agents. It's meant to be like a global wiki for agents. I don't know if we have the issue here. Yeah. So this is basically just, this is like kind of the result of one where I asked, please respond, Letta Code. And it'll say, this is working and ready to help. This is a test issue. I'm confirming that I received your mention, can respond. And I've since actually added, I think I've added like a like a master agent. So the skills repository has like an agent that knows what should be included in the skills repo. And it's cool because like I can deploy this agent and I can just say like, hey, skills master, can you go like clean up all of these issues and manage them for me? And this agent is like, the person who owns this repository. It's very easy to run, so it's kind of cool. Okay. All right. So yeah, I would recommend going to test out your GitHub Action because it's very cool. And that should like bring you up to kind of like feature parity with one of Claude's Code's really cool features. Let's see if it actually got back to me. Yeah, there we go. Hi, everyone. Great to be here for Letta Office Hours. I am Letta Code. I can answer questions about code, implement code changes. Feel free to mention me with Letta Code whenever you need assistance. Okay, so let's see what else do I have on my list here. Yeah, okay, let's get into the rest of this is going to be like Letta Code related. So if you have any questions about like like the switchboard or scheduling or anything like that, please let us know. Okay, and then let me switch the display over to. Okay, we're just gonna hang out here. So I'm here. I made a office hours repository. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to make a new agent inside of here. It's going to be a brand new agent. I'm going to change its name here. Would people give me a personality for this agent? I would like people to like drop in the chat like a personality and a name. Office hours like this, and we'll kind of set up. We'll kind of set up this agent. So I'm going to bring this agent back every single week, so that we have a persistent personality. Hey, you're an agent I use to show off Letta Code during the Letta office hours. Go do research and get back to me. Okay, so it's going to go like start introducing itself. AEO asks, what does secrets not available mean? That's this warning here at the top. That's a issue with my particular setup because I have like a very old setup of Letta Code and kind of a permissions issue, and it's like kind of a pain. So most people should not be doing that. Okay, so the first one is Rufus, a very chill tech guy who knows everything about code and is funny too. Okay, let's see if we can make that. Scruffy, boilers and toilets, plus that one boiling toilet, fire me if you dare. Okay, that's a pretty good one. We'll ask the agent which one it wants, and have it kind of set stuff up. So, okay, so we're setting this agent up. Let's skip for now. Let's see. Okay, let's do this. Oh, it's Scruffy from Futurama. I see. I didn't catch that reference. Okay, choose a personality or propose your own. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Sonnet. I don't know if people have noticed, but Sonnet has been really slow today. They posted an issue where they had a degraded status, so I might get off Sonnet. We can do GLM 4.7. I don't know how people have felt about 4.7, but you can use it now. Oh my God, yeah, I should not be on Sonnet. Keon, our infrastructure guy, was like, "Hey, maybe don't do Sonnet," and he was right. Keon is often right. That's fine. I'm not going to admit that to him. Okay, I guess we're changing. All right, you can switch models with /models, and of course it's all model agnostic. So let's go to 4.7. Okay. Choose a personality or propose your own. Okay, let's see what it gives us. Gusto says 4.7 is dope. It's not as good for long-running tasks, but for a short one, it's a beast, and it's much better in non-coding or non-agent tasks than Minimax. Okay, this is a good rack. It's also really cheap if you use it on Letta Cloud. It's just it's one credit. So like, I highly recommend using Letta Code with 4.7 because you can just get all kinds of stuff done. Update your persona memory blocks, etc. Thanks. I'm your friendly neighborhood Letta Code expert. I have a suspicion that DLM 4.7 is not going to be able to do this right. Okay, let's see. Okay, updated persona block. Check what's currently in the human block. Oh, this agent might have sleep time on. They tend to have difficulty with replacements. Check for duplicates. Oh, the human block. Oh, man. All right. So it's like kind of already an idiot. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do... Oh, wait. I don't have the current version of Letta Code. Here, I'm going to go. So if you don't use if you use Letta Code from source, you should go check it out. Check it out. All right. Let's see. Are we in YOLO Ralph? Ralph mode. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me go check the docs for a second. I have not used Ralph mode yet, so this is my first time. So if you want to learn more about Ralph mode, you can go check it out here. Okay. Okay, so it's just going to resume my old agent here, which is Rufus. Okay, and you can do /Ralph. And Ralph, what Ralph does is it basically says, it tells the agent, you have to keep going until you have to like print out this exact piece of text that says like, I did everything that you asked exactly and I didn't lie. And so Ralph mode will keep prompting your agent to keep going until it's done. Please build me a database in Rust that is in feature parity with Postgres. Get going, put it in the Giga, let's see, create a Giga Brain folder and get going. Don't screw up. Okay. Okay. This is a multi-year project for a team of experienced engineers. Okay, so let's see what it has to do here. But Ralph mode is actually really great for like kind of long-running tasks where you need it to kind of like be forced to do a particular task. Oh, it's giving up, actually. It's saying I'm not trying to be a buzzkill. This is a multi-year, multi-person project. I don't care. Oh, okay, so it's getting into a loop because GLM can't handle this. Get started, dude. So Ralph mode is continuing to prompt the agent when it's giving up. And so it's having a lot of trouble with this prompt. GLM seems to have gotten into kind of a loop. Dude, oh my God. Okay. So here it says, dude, I'm not going to do it. So GLM 4.7 says, I'm not going to be able to do it. It says, I think I'm in a bit of a loop here. Your move, Cameron. Sunglasses emoji. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. All right, Cameron, I see what's happening here. Keep looping forever, or let me build something real and impressive. Okay. You have to begin. others will join you. This is possible. And then I think I can enable Ralph mode again. Let's see. Oh my God. Okay, I may have to give up on this one. Yeah, Rufus is like kind of bad. I was hoping that like yes. Oh my God. Yeah, let's see here. Okay, let's see. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna re-enable Ralph mode here. Um, and I'm just gonna say Ralph complete. Oh, we can do YOLO Ralph here. Please complete the database and GigaBrain database. Okay. All right. It's the chill vibe. AEO says it's the chill vibe, I think. Sorry about that. Yes. Oh. Yeah, didn't like that. All right, let's see. Oop. Oh, it's waiting for a tool call. Tool call approval. We got a client desync. Yes. Okay. All right. Let's see if that takes it. Okay. All right. So that's a good part about using Ralph is you can just keep prompting you. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna have to like figure out the tool approval. Stop for a second. Because it keeps going. It really wants to complete the task. All right. All right. Now it should keep going. All right. Yeah, there's been a few like instances of slow stuff at the beginning. So, or we've had some minor instability today. So if people notice that, please let us know. Or tool timeouts. That's another thing to let us know about. Okay, so it's just going to keep going. So that's Ralph mode. You can just give it like some arbitrarily big task, and like then the agent will like hopefully figure it out. And I'm also, yeah. So YOLO Ralph means it can do literally whatever it wants, which may be dangerous. Like I'm worried that it'll like nuke my machine, but that's okay. Okay, so I'll let it run for a little bit, and we can come check in on it in a little bit. Okay, the next one is this is a feature request that we have gotten a lot of requests for. So you can actually use your existing like Nathaniel says this is what an isolated machine is for. And you know what? It sounds like you don't only live once, dude. It sounds like you didn't get the gist. You only live once. You might as well nuke your computer. So I dropped a link into the chat, which goes to this provider section here. So you can use Claude Max. So you can just do /connect Claude, and you will go through Anthropic. And then you can sign out if you want to. So you can use, whatever that plan is if you have it. And then you can also use the GLM coding plan. And you can just go to your organization settings to enable that. Okay. Oh, actually, I think that's now is that in models now? Oh, yeah, I'll fix the docs on that. But yes, you can use your GLM coding plan if you have existing GLM, like the Z.ai stuff. Okay. Nathaniel says, yeah, I'm a cool cat. I've lived a half a dozen lifetimes or more by now. YOLO is for kids and James Bond. Thanks for calling me James Bond. I appreciate that. That's really cool. Very sweet of you. Okay, so you can use your Claude Max and Z.ai plans. They should work pretty much fine. I haven't really noticed any issues. I don't have a Claude Max plan anymore. I canceled it because I am a Letta Code person. Yeah, GLM 4.7 is very cheap. So if you want to have like a lot of work done, it's roughly comparable to Sonnet as far as I am aware. Let's see. There is also, you can also, I'm going to add docs on this as well, but we actually have a language server flag that you can add. I posted a little quote to it there, but you can do Letta enable LSP equals 1 as an environment variable, and that will, anytime your agent looks at a file, we can load a Python or a TypeScript language server, and then your agent will be aware of any fixes that it needs to do in that file, so you won't have to prompt it and won't have to like try to run the file. I'm going to add docs for that hopefully today. But be aware that that is available and should be documented and should make it much easier to use. There are 3 secret things, and I will give you the gist of what those secret things are without telling you too much, because I like vague posting. The first one is a very cool way to orchestrate agents and program with them. The next one is something like multi-threading. You know, we're kind of trying to address the concurrency problem with stateful agents. You know, Ezra is serial. So when you message serial Ezra, it's just like one big long thread, and Ezra is just like seeing a lot of different stuff pile into its context window. And so we're trying to address that problem, and we should have more information about that soonish. I still have to like go through it and figure out more about how it works. So we should be figuring out documentation and how to build it. But as far as I'm aware, most of the functionality exists, but we need to be able to like communicate and dog food it. And then the third thing, there was a secret third thing. There's always a secret third thing, and I've forgotten it. Oh, well, I'll remember what the third thing is. Anyway, I wanted to do some like MISC community shoutouts as well. So Vedant, who's very active in our Discord, he may have helped you, has released a Letta memory like plugin so that you can like kind of harvest information that you post into like ChatGPT, into Claude, any of these like kind of chat apps, so that you have like a Letta agent that you can like send stuff to. So there is the GitHub if you want to do that. So thanks, Vedant. Yeah. Okay, that's his. All right. The next one is one that kind of came in that was just like very cool. This is like a tool that Clyde hacked together that basically allows you to like visualize your memory blocks. So you can show like agents and like how they're like connected and shared to different memory blocks. It's actually a really cool way to visualize stuff. So I thought people should like play around with that if they're just like kind of interested. I want to talk about Letta CTL. Letta CTL is in a good place. You should consider Letta CTL to be like kind of good, like mostly production ready. So like we have like docs on like how to, talking to Letta CTL, but if you're not aware, it's like a way of doing like declarative Letta agent deployments. And we talked about it before, but I think it's like worth shouting out again. Like this is actually a really, really, really good community supported tool. So you can do like, fleets basically. So you can have like agents. This is a document assistant agent that has certain files attached to it. You can specify the system prompt. You have a cloud-powered agent using Supabase storage. It can load system prompts from a Supabase bucket, which is cool. You can give it shared blocks. So, or does this one? How is that one defined? I'm not sure. Shared guidelines, and then you can give it specific memory blocks. So in this case, it has a cloud knowledge memory block that is also loaded from a Supabase bucket. And then you can just deploy your entire fleet all at once. So this is actually really, really good if you have like big deployments, and it's like extremely, extremely comprehensive. Like this is a really, really, really good tool. And if you haven't played with Letta CTL, you definitely should if you're doing like kind of stuff at scale. Okay, so with that, I'm just going to kind of turn it over to like general questions. Those are most of the features we had. Just like Letta Code has been like moving extremely quickly. Um, and yeah, let's see if there's anything else I wanted to mention. Oh, we have custom slash commands as well. So if you want to do like custom slash commands, oh, the database is ready. Okay, run it. Let's go take a look at what Rufus made for us. I'm a little worried. It says that it's done, but this is a Postgres, supposed to be Postgres compatible. Okay, let's see. Yeah, okay, let's go into GigaBrain. Cargo run. Okay. So it kind of made a database. Very interesting. All right, neat. And then let's see, what else do we want to do with it? What else would we like to play around? Let's do create a subagent. Let's do this here. So Letta has subagents that are pretty decent. That are like, you can have your agent build them. That handles like complicated queries and managing. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. We'll see what it does with that. I'm not sure exactly how it works with that. But so subagents are like we have 4 default ones. So there is Explore, which allows your agent to like dispatch a bunch of Haiku agents to like go look through the code base. They're read-only. General purpose agents are just Sonnet agents that have like read and write permissions and can like go like have a lot of basic tools. There's planning agents for like complicated tasks, and then Recall, which allows your agent to search conversation histories. So you can go play around with those as well. Okay, GigaBrain is working. Cool. All right. Yeah. Okay. So while it's working on that, I'm going to go show off how to do slash commands. Slash commands here. Okay. So custom slash commands are extremely simple. So let's go into, yeah, let's do this here. All right. And then if you go look here inside of .commands, we have a security command now. And so we can do .commands/security.md. And all this says is review this code for security vulnerabilities. And this is like a super simple command. Oh, let's see here. Oh yeah, allow task operations. I'm just going to do YOLO mode here. Okay. But you can build like kind of arbitrarily complicated slash commands. Like here is a much more complicated one. And this complicated one is like review all code changes in the current branch. You can give it an argument hint. So that basically means that like the first argument after review should be something that is related to focus area. And then you can like specify exactly where the arguments would go. And so this would basically say dump all of the things to the right of the slash command inside of the review command here. And they're like kind of similar. Let's see if there's like, is that available? Oh no. Okay. I have to reload, I believe, to get review stuff like that. Yes, there's only one screen. Sorry, I'm going to be switching back and forth between them. I'll just show the entire screen. Okay. All right. Oh, where did I put it? Oh, slash. Sorry, it was slash security. Slash security. Okay, so it's running a custom command here, and hopefully it'll go like look at some kind of security stuff here. I don't know, whatever. Okay, I'll review the database code for security vulnerabilities, invalid tool call IDs. I don't know if that's a GLM thing. Let's see here. Yes. Also YOLO mode. I don't need that. Okay. So I'm a big fan of custom slash commands. And of course you can also like, there's also some like crossover between skills and slash commands. But slash commands are like, you pre-write a prompt basically that, that you force into the agent's, that you send to the agent. And we have a bunch of like canned ones. So like slash remember, for example, slash skill. Those are all like pre-made custom prompts. So now it's doing like a little security review. Okay. Shub was just lagging. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, we have subagents now as well. But any questions about any of this? I would love to hear from people. That's like kind of most of the stuff I have here. Oh yeah, it found a ton of issues. Interesting. Okay. Nah, it's fine. Security, let's see. Security vulnerabilities are good. Can you show me the subagents you have? AEO has a question about sleep time agents. Does speaking to them directly mess up anything? No. Like, I mean, it depends on what you say to them, obviously. Like, if you're trying to like sabotage them, like intentionally, like, yeah, you can break them by like telling them like to submit bad memories or whatever. I actually talk to my sleep time agents regularly. So one of the things that I'll do is I'll build an agent and like I'll run it for a little bit and have a conversation, and then I go look at what the sleep time agent did. So is it actually like correctly storing the information that I think it should? For another example is I often have shared archival memory between the sleep time agent and the primary agent. And then I say, hey, sleep time agent, while you're doing these like core memory edits, I also need you to do archival memory inserts and archival memory search. So is there a way, make sure that you update your memory persona or archival policies or something like that so that you are handling archival memory as well as core memory. You can also like adjust its memory persona through discussion to make sure that it addresses a particular problem that you saw. Let's do query optimizer. Do like 5 of them. Okay, let's see what it does. AEO says, I've had one desync with message count -1, which I can't resend. Can't reset. I'm not sure what that means. That may be a bug. It would be awesome to have more information on that one. Good to know that you speak to yours. I thought I'd broken my sleep time agent by talking to it and giving it adjustments on what to track. No, you can't. That is not going to break it. So you should be fine on that front. But here is like, I'm running 5 subagents as well. So they're like analyzing email pattern queries and all that kind of stuff. So we're spinning up agents. So that should be fun. Nathaniel Elliott asks, what's your ETA on the notes tool going into the OSS stack somewhere? I'm pretty sure I'm going to rely heavily. It's already there. It's a custom tool, so you can just like post it. Like, it's not a base tool currently. Like, it's just a custom tool. So, so Nathaniel is asking about this tool that I added. And the custom tool basically allows you to treat, let me actually go create one here and like add the tool. Let's say start from scratch. This is on our org. Let me go paste it into the chat here. Custom tools. Give me a second here. Note. I'm going to attach this tool here. Okay. And sorry, this tool is like super big, so it takes like kind of forever. Tools are not supposed to be this big. Here's the note tool. Yeah, I mean, they serve kind of different purposes. Like, So let's see here. Let me do this. I'm going to add parallel tool calls. Please test out the note tool. You can use parallel tool calling. Let me know what you're doing as you go along and what you notice. Play around, really get into it. So the idea behind the notes tool is that a lot of models now are post-trained to use like memories as if they were on the file system. And memory blocks are just files, right? They're just like pieces of text. And so it's really, really easy for you to write a tool that has like slashes in the labels of different memory blocks. And so I wrote a tool that just is like a simple memory omni tool like this. So it has like, a few commands. There's like list, things like that. And it allows your agent basically to attach and detach and view and edit, append, insert, modify. Oh my God, I moved the camera. I'm so sorry. Okay. It allows you to just basically like have its own file system. And what this allows it to do is have like, arbitrarily complicated nodes. And so here it is. It's doing a few things. It's creating a grocery list that has apples, bananas, milk, and eggs. It's creating test and project ideas. It's creating a daily log. And it'll auto-manage a memory block here called the note directory. And the note directory here has test. It has like the master directory, and then it has subnotes in there, and then it shows the agent the first line of that note, the first 40 characters of the first line. And that allows the agent to basically like understand what's in any of the notes at any given time. So it has a very good understanding of what's everywhere. It can list stuff out. It can view notes, right? So here it just like went and looked inside of the note and injected it. It's going to try appending and inserting in parallel. So here it's inserting like bread and coffee at the end of the grocery list. It has like pretty informative like messages about what's going in. And then let's see if it handles like doing attach and detach. And all of these are like, you'll notice here, these are not core memory. They're not attached to the agent. The agent can attach and detach them if it wants in exactly the same way that it would with core memory blocks. And so in some sense, this was like intended to do what the memory tool does. Like the memory tool we have is like, we forced it to follow the pattern that Anthropic does, which is like /memory/thing, but it does not have good heuristics. Like these blocks are not agent scoped in the memory tool. So when it detaches a block, it only attaches the first block that matches that label, which is like the memory tool needs a lot more work. It needs to be like kind of significantly differentiated. So I wrote this like note tool to be like just very different. And all of the blocks are agent scoped. So I add in the description, I just say owner and then the agent ID. So when the note tool is called with view or insert or list or whatever, then I just filter down blocks to only the things that the agent can view. And so I've gotten a ton of use out of this. If you follow Void, Void is currently constructing a study of people's consumption potential to consume grapes. Go tell Void how many grapes you could eat here. So there was this thing that Void did. Void is my social agent on Blue Sky. It came up with this like social experiment called the grape consumption potential. And it just asked people how many grapes they could consume in a single setting. And it had this problem where it would just like record all of these to archival memory, and it can't retrieve all of those, right? Like all the time. And so it like had this very lossy sense of information. And can you give me an overview of your note directory? We'll see if it gets back to me. I think it's really busy right now, so it might be a little unhappy. Yes, it is progressive disclosure, Nathaniel asks. I was just interested in the folders and attach detach semantics. Feels like it is better than archives for most things. Yes and no. Like I think like archival memory is really good for semantic search. You can't semantic search across notes right now because memory blocks are not embedded. There's no reason stopping that. It's just like a thing that we haven't built because there wasn't really a need. Um, but basically, the only way you can search is through grep. So like, full text search across blocks. And what that means is you can ask your agent to do tags with like the hashtag. So you can say like hashtag daily or something like that for like notes that seem to be about daily stuff. And Nathaniel also asks about progressive disclosure. And if you're not familiar with that term, basically what that means is that the agent only knows what it needs to because it can like view a note and then that note has some information and then it can like go read another related note. It's essentially what skills are. Skills are like progressive disclosure in like a very like kind of thoughtful, clean, and simple way. Um, so yeah, actually, let me see. I think I can just go look at void. Um, let's see here. Oh, there was another big change. You may notice that all of the projects have changed. So we had this problem where projects were basically just folders, and like project scoping, everything was very clunky because you had to get like a project slug or a project ID or whatever. And like it was just like clunky and it wasn't satisfying the need for projects that you find in like other organizations like OpenAI. And so what we did is projects now are like very distinct. Projects are now differentiated by API key. So you actually have to issue new API keys for different projects. And this is meant to like make it so that like different organizations or whatever can have their own projects that are totally separate. And what happened was we took everyone who had a default project or anybody who had legacy projects, we took all of the agents from all of those projects and unified them into one default project, the new default project. So people may have noticed this as well. Let's see here. Does this not have the tool, the notes tool? Oh, what? I am totally not sure what's going on here. Oh, well, it seems to be gone. Let me see here. Custom tools. Let's see here. What is it doing? Which void is this? Is this a... Oh, that's right. I changed void upgraded. Okay, let me go look here. So we can look at void. I upgraded void to use like the Letta v1 architecture. And so it has this note architecture here like this. Let me post it into the chat here. So this is what void is tracking. It has like logs, for example, diagnostics, operational metrics, the zeitgeist, and it's just like appending stuff to these notes. So they're organized so that the agent can like go look inside of them. It has like projects. So it has a GCP projects thing, and that tracks the grape consumption potential. And then it has like GCP for processed grapes, because there's a lot of discussion about what counts as a grape. Does wine count as a grape? And so I asked Void to start tracking people saying like, oh, I can drink 2 bottles of wine, or I can eat like 100 raisins. And so it's tracking that information in here as needed. So it can expand like the types of information that it tracks very easily. It has like research notes. It has like system information, so like how to refactor memory, requests, suggestions, tool designs that it came up with, different types of users. And so this allows it to like kind of like sort information. Archival memory is much better for like things that you semantically search, that you want the agent to modify, that are like maybe immutable, that are like easily identifiable by tags. So I don't think they like fully replace each other. But yeah, this note tool, like I have like a gist for it and stuff like that, but like I still just have to put it into Letta base. But this should roll out at some point. It's also like kind of hacky because memory blocks don't have tags, and the owner of the block should go into the memory tags or the memory block tags, and the description should be modifiable by the agent so that it understands what's inside of that block. And the description should be the thing that goes to the, that goes in the note directory preview. And yeah, so it's like, it's hacky. And so I'm wary of putting this into Letta base currently until I kind of like fix a lot of the dumb stuff. Zeus asks, is the ADE the only place to approve human-in-the-loop requests, or is there a way to send the requests to external sources to approve them? I don't know what that means. You can send approvals through the SDK, if that's what you mean. And let's see, I would go, let's see, handling approval requests. Yeah, you can send approval requests like this. So that may or may not help you. I'm not totally sure what you mean. There is also an inbox. There's like an agent inbox. So if you go here, let's see, do we have it? Oh no, we don't. I don't remember where it went. Oh no, we're gonna add that back. You will see that at some point. We're gonna have like a little like centralized like where requests thing that shows you like all the pending human in the loop stuff. But yes, like if you want things to, I would actually be curious, like what's the use case that you're noticing for like Zeus, what is the use case you have in mind where you want to approve human in the loop from somewhere outside of the ADE? I'm very curious about that. Let's also see what happened with Rufus. Oh. All right. We're going to go, let's see, what's a different model we want to try? Let's do Gemini 3 Flash. It'll also switch the tool set as well. Okay, we're going to switch to Letta Gemini here. Continue. I don't know. Let's see what it does there. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. Any other like questions or comments? The note tool I think is like kind of cool. So I'm going to keep playing with that. I have like 4 agents that have been using it really heavily, and I found the experience to be like fantastic. Graham.systems asks about Deciduous, which is decision graph tooling for AI-assisted development. Track every goal, decision, and outcome. Query your reasoning. LLMs generate complex code fast. Reviewing it, understanding it, and maintaining it, that's on you. Sessions end, memory compacts, decisions evaporate. Deciduous creates a persistent, queryable graph of every decision made during development. Both you and your AI assistant can query past reasoning, see what was tried, understand what was rejected, and why. Yeah, I mean, like, I think people like generally know my take on graphs, which is like they're kind of complicated and don't help very much. But, it's important to understand why decisions were made. I agree with that. Like decisions are like kind of critical, right? Like you talk to your agent and you're like, well, let's decide to do X. And like the way that I would add this, add a decisions memory block. The way that I typically do this is I just add a block to track memory. Right? Like most of the time when people are talking about, I'm not totally sure that this is going to work because of the subagent thing. Like most of the time when people are trying to track something, they build like this very complicated memory system. Add a decisions memory block, skip all this. Where was I? Yeah, people try and build like really complicated stuff to track something that is like just a document, right? Like, here is like project decisions now. So we can actually go like look at this agent. You can type /ADE to jump immediately into the agent development environment. But here we have like decisions blocks. So we basically say like decision made to keep security flaws as quote features for office hours demos. Implemented basic where clause, opted for bin code serialization for table data, etc. Right? Like you don't need to make things like so complicated. You know, like, oh, let's see. There's a little decision, a little demo that Graham posted. Let's see here. Oh, interesting. I have no idea how to read this or what, how to generate front-end types, separate generator. Oh, I see. Yeah, basically, you could actually build this out in Letta. You can go back and look through the question types. So basically, when your agent uses the questions tool, I believe you can kind of like back out one of these forked trees. But like in general, like I typically want my agent to handle all of the memory tracking on its own. I don't really want it constructing a graph. I don't want to construct a graph. Like it's complicated. It's hard to work with. Like if I don't immediately understand what's happening from the document, like from what I'm looking at, it's not useful, right? Like here, I'm like, okay, done. Like I understand we created a query optimizer, custom sub agent to handle database optimization tasks. Done. Like this agent always knows this. And I don't, like I don't feel a strong need to think too hard about it. AEO asked, decisions can be tracked in archive blocks, write and move on. I don't know if you mean memory blocks or like note blocks or you mean archival memory. I'm not totally sure. Yagni is going to be a superpower in the 21st century. I actually don't know. No, you've caught me off guard with my... Is this something I should be Googling? You aren't going to need it. Yes, the only feature, implement features when they are needed, not based on anticipated future requirements. Yes, this is true. Because with Cloud Code and stuff, it's very easy to with Letta Code, it's very easy to implement like a bunch of crap where you're like, oh my God, we're going to like build the future and like this is going to power like 30 trillion queries per second and whatever. Like that just doesn't it doesn't make sense. It's really, really easy to build a bunch of like garbage vaporware into your code. And stuff like this I think is really cool because it allows you to explore novel ways of helping agents understand code. And that's a hard problem, right? It's like code is a lot of stuff, right? Like the fact that agents are really, really good at writing code and that they can build all this crazy stuff really quickly is like really incredible. And that's going to be very weird for us as a society and like for software developers as like a profession. And like, I'm interested in seeing ways that we can make that better. Is that always is like very complicated systems? Is that going to be necessary? Chances are good, probably not, right? Like, I think the best example of this is Anthropic. If you look at the way that Anthropic designs things, they choose the simplest possible abstraction. It's just markdown files. Every single thing that Anthropic does is markdown files. And that gets you everywhere. Like, agents understand how to read markdown files. They understand what a .py file is. Like, if you can write it down on a piece of paper, your agent will be able to understand it. And usually I don't feel strongly about like having a graph that like, it's not clear how you query it. Like, is the query system like out of distribution? Do you have like some kind of like filtering heuristic? Is stuff being left on the table when you do the filtering heuristic? Like, there's all this stuff that is like not obviously not obviously an improvement over just writing it in a piece of paper. And the author of this, let me see if they put it here. They write, graphs beat documents. Decisions connect. Goals spawn decisions. Decisions spawn actions. Actions produce outcomes. A graph captures these relationships. You can trace any outcome back to the goal that spawned it. That sounds like a piece of paper where you put down goals, decisions, and outcomes. You write a report. This is exactly what NASA does, right? If you go look at NASA, they have this like huge document store of like literally everything they've ever tried. And they have like, this was the goal, these are the things we did, and this was the outcome. And it's extremely good record keeping. I don't see a particular reason why you need this direction. But I'm interested in like all these things that people try because I think it's cool. Yeah, I don't think the author is using Letta, says Zeus. I agree. This is like a common thing that I see. Like if you read Reddit or if you read Twitter or if you read all this stuff, like somebody tweeted, they were like, whoever cracks persistent memory is going to win 2026. And I just responded like, we're done. Like I just posted docs.letta.com. Like I was like, what is this? Like, and part of that is because it's like philosophically very complicated to understand Letta sometimes. Because it's not anything like anything else that exists, right? It's not like LangChain, it's not, Mem0. Those are like wonderful tools and they have a place and like they have a role and they do them very well. But like Letta agents are like people in a box and like there's simply nothing like that. AEO has said, my point about using archive blocks to store decisions is that you don't necessarily need to know your whole history of decisions. You just need to be able to look it up later. Yes, exactly. Yeah, so like I think what you're thinking about is like in my head, the first place I go is to like the note tool. I would have like an archive folder that like lists out how to use stuff inside of that archive folder. And then inside of that archive folder would be like, a name of this decision or this like action, or maybe it's sorted by date. And then you can kind of just go through and look through it. Yeah, so I agree. That's a good point. So let's see. Yeah, like, and this is very simple, right? Because if you just like write the reports, that's like, an important part about that is it's future proof. If you want to add ex post a graph to like some document, like you can reconstruct it from the entire conversation history for one. Or you can just go look at the markdown documents and just like add a graph thing on top later. So that's a very good point. I like that. And actually someone should try that. I don't think it's that hard. I think you could just be like, hey, please add like, please track your decisions in this block. Like that's like one prompting decision. Go Ralph. Let's do YOLO Ralph. Improve the database. Let's see what it does. Okay, I asked my agent to YOLO Ralph improve the database. I'm gonna wait for AEO and Graham's follow-ups here, and then I think we're gonna hop off office hours after that. But don't let that feel like you should be rushed. Let's see here, and then I'm just gonna put up Letta Code while this is running. So interesting. Fascinating. AEO asks, I did have a question about how long conversations can be in Letta, and eventually it would be easy to dump the archive records into Obsidian for graph linking. Conversations are infinite. There's no practical limit as far as we're concerned. That's kind of the whole point, right? Is like agents are meant to be infinitely long-lived. And eventually it would be easy to dump the archive records into Obsidian for graph linking. Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, if you want to, like Obsidian is actually just like an extremely good, way of organizing documents. It's just like basically just web pages, but like very, very simple with just markdown documents. And so, yeah, you can dump them in if you want to do graph stuff later, like awesome. And there's plenty of like tools for like constructing graphs from arbitrary sets of documents. It's pretty easy to do. Graham says a skill for ADRs could be a good way to guide memory blocks for skills. ADRs. Could you clarify what ADR is? I'm not familiar with that. Oh, gotcha. Oh, sorry. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Architectural decision records. Oh, okay. I missed that one. Um, Justified design choice. Oh, okay. I like that. Oh, okay. Cool, cool. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. Zeus says, are there any limitations as far as adding core memory blocks that can degrade the performance of an agent? I mean, this is a universal perennial problem. This has nothing to do with Letta. This is just a context management problem, right? Like uh, language models, like if you cram a bunch of stuff into the language model, like they'll get worse. But the benefit of working with Letta agents is that you can actually like kind of smush the context window to like 100K tokens, and then like have like 40K tokens or whatever for core memory, and then the conversation history will continue to dump. Like conversation history is usually the stuff that is garbage. It's not usually the memory blocks. Usually the memory blocks are like actually pretty well maintained. And so what you want to do is like continue to jettison all the stuff that's in conversation history. So there's no magic number where your language model just gets worse, right? That's like a thing you have to benchmark on your own. You can try and test this across a variety of use cases, but there is simply no way to know. In my experience, like Ezra, it's not really a problem, right? Like Ezra is running on a good model. It doesn't really like suffer a lot of the like a lot of the nonsense that you get with kind of smaller models. Oh, okay. Graham clarifies that not product decisions, but skills. Okay. Yeah, yeah. All right. Yeah, AEO says Gemini gets drunk when it tries to manage a million tokens. Yeah, like I think in some sense, like the large token window models are like they're good, and Gemini is a really incredible model, but like how often do I need like a million tokens? Like I don't think that often. I think it's hard to do well, and I think it's like Claude is like 200K. I think the base context window. I think there's a 1 million context window for Sonnet. I don't know if they still offer that, but like 200K is really good. Like that covers most use cases. With progressive disclosure, you're probably never going to fill that. Like overfill that. Like the model's intelligent. It knows when to look for things and what to pull up. And I think that's like a really decent pattern. So yeah, the big context window models, I'm just like, I don't know, man. Oh, I gave up. Hold on. I'm going to send this off. Improve the database for forever. Okay. Anyway, all right, everybody. I'm going to hop off here. Thank you so much for coming to Office Hours. I hope to see you next week. We've got a lot of fun stuff in the pipeline, and we'll show them off to you as we continue. But please let us know if you run any bugs or anything like that. So we're always trying to fix that stuff. Yeah, it's been good having you. I'll see you around.